Hey guys, in today's video I have a completely designer fragrance haul for you guys. I did order some more fragrances that are on the way, some really exciting videos coming up, at least for me, but this video is purely designer. First I have Yves Saint Laurent's Manifesto, and I heard a lot about this fragrance, particularly from Mila LeBlanc. There are so many people who say that this is an amazing fragrance, that this is a mature green woody vanilla, and you know, I thought, what could go wrong with the vanilla? I don't really have that many green fragrances, honestly. I don't even think I have a single one, but just something about it did not appeal to me. I don't really want to smell like plants. I don't want to smell like aloe vera. Like, that's just what I think of when I think of green notes. Like, of course flowers are fine, but anyway, I was a little hesitant, but I decided to order it because I found a pretty good deal for this size. And you're blasted with that green opening. It's not completely green. You can of course smell the vanilla in the background, but again, the opening is just boom. So this has black currant, bergamot, and green notes in the opening. I wish they would say exactly what they meant by green notes, but when I click it says just snapped leaves, foliage, and green vegetal scents, so that could really be anything. I am getting that citrusy of the bergamot as well as the florals and the vanilla. I wish the tonka bean was more prominent, just because I know that tonka bean is one of my favorite notes, and I just don't think it comes through in this. And so I've heard a lot of things about the longevity not being good on this fragrance, and I have to agree. Just in general, the hype that I've heard, I don't know if it matches up. It's so interesting when I hear a lot of hype about a fragrance and then I get it and I just think it's very average. I don't know. I also have read online that a lot of people didn't like this, and then as they got older they were reaching for it more and more, so I think that's totally possible. It could happen to me. Right now I'm more into gourmand fragrances. That's just really my vibe. I'm sorry about it. And this is not gourmand at all, really. Like, the vanilla is just kind of maybe 30%. I don't know if that's too low, and then the green notes to me are like 70%, so that's just how I feel about it. But when people describe this as woody, I wouldn't even really agree with that, to be honest, because there's only sandalwood and cedar. That doesn't make it woody. So in fact, I don't find this too complex. It's just straight up grainy vanilla. Okay, just a heads up, like, I'm gonna be kind of critical in this video just because I do spend a pretty penny on these things, and I just am excited to receive them, and when they don't really perform as expected, I can be disappointed, of course. But this is Olympēa Intense by Paco Rabanne. If y'all don't remember, I did haul the original in a couple videos back, and I did not like it. I had to immediately sell it because of the ginger flower note. And I'm starting to think that the main culprit was was mainly the salt note. Olympēa Intense and Olympēa both have the salt note, of course, and the vanilla, but the difference is that this only has vanilla, salt, amber, and then Olympēa also had the ginger flower amongst other different salty notes as well. I still think that the ginger flower is not for me. I still think that combined with the salt, it was just even more overpowering. But ultimately, the same salt that they used in both is still super cloying and intense, if you will, for me. I can stand this one a little bit more. Like, I've put it on my skin, and it wasn't like with the original where I was getting a headache and getting really bothered by it. It wasn't like that, but it did irritate me a little bit. I don't know if that makes sense. The amber in here is just not my favorite. I don't know. Just for me, their interpretation of amber and salt, I don't know. I just don't love it, to be quite honest with you. Amber, I used to think I loved amber in all forms, but there are certain companies who create it differently. It is an artificially created note because amber is a stone or a crystal or whatever. So every company is gonna make their own type of amber. And like, same with cashmere, like these random types of scents, like companies are going to interpret it in different ways, but I'm just not feeling this, you guys. Like, ultimately, I don't know what else to say about it. This is sort of turning me off from salty perfumes, and that's kind of sad because I was expecting it to be, you know, subtle, kind of like a salted caramel dessert. Like, you're not gonna dunk salt all over it, but you're going to add it, and you can taste it and you can smell it, but it's not overbearing. I don't know, you guys. This is a big bottle, and I don't love it at all. Okay, next is Valentino Donna Born in Roma. So I got this on a pretty good deal. I think it was like $50 something for the 1.7 ounce, which was a good deal because since it's still in pretty high demand, it's still a newer fragrance, very popular. People are still selling it for high price tags. And so I smelled it at Ulta and I enjoyed it, but it was kind of one of those things where I was smelling everything at Ulta. So I just kind of smelt it on a whim, liked it, and then I was just smelling everything else. So I didn't really blind buy it, but whatever. See, every day is different because I'm enjoying this right now a lot. So this also opens with black currant, pink pepper, and bergamot. So it has a similar opening to Manifesto with that bergamot and black currant. I do definitely smell that pink pepper. Like sometimes when I spray it on myself, I start sneezing. Middle notes of jasmine sambac, jasmine, and jasmine tea. I do get the tea note. Like I was thinking that this had some sort of like fresh, light, airy note, but I couldn't put my finger on it. And now that I know tea is in the notes, it just makes sense to me. Base notes of bourbon vanilla, which is apparently the most expensive fragrance ingredient at the moment. Cashmeran and guaiac wood. I don't know if it's all the scents in front of me right now, but this just smells really good. I was gonna say some bad things about it, but I think what I secretly want in this fragrance is something a little sweeter. Maybe it's the bourbon vanilla that's throwing me off because it's not just a traditional vanilla. It's not a vanilla bean. It's not a vanilla cupcake. It's just like alcoholic vanilla. So even the quote unquote sweet note in here is not completely sweet. Which is fine. Like, of course, not everything needs to be sweet, but I'm just kind of trying to mature my nose and realize that not everything has to be like that. I think I've just processed, or I've gotten my brain to this point that if something's sweet, my brain is happy. And I'm like, yes, I love to smell like cupcakes. But then if I don't, even if I smell good, but I don't smell sweet, I'm like, aw. You know, like if I wash my whole body with cucumber body wash, which is the typical one, I'll smell really clean, I'll smell nice. But I immediately want to put on, you know, something sweet. This is nice. I was thinking to myself, like, this is such a spring fragrance in my opinion. Like, totally spring, maybe even summer. And the packaging kind of makes you think otherwise. Or, I don't know when this was released, but I feel like I've heard a lot of people associate this with fall, winter. And the scent is just so opposite of that. Or, like, when you look at the packaging, you may not think it's going to be your spring scent. Maybe I'm just associating black with, you know, the colder months. But this is so springy to me. I think you could wear this to a wedding, but the peppery note, I'm not sure. That's up to you. But this is really classy, light, perfect for daytime in my opinion. Okay, next we have Guerlain La Petite Robe Noire Intense. So you can get this on Amazon, the 3.3 fluid ounce, for $55, then you have to pay like $9 shipping for whatever reason. But it does have a picture of the pink original La Petite Robe Noire. But don't worry, you will be getting the intense. That's what I did with this. Anyway, so I had expectations for this scent. I did read all of the reviews, so I wasn't completely thrown off. Like, I did know some people describe this as a masculine scent. Some people said masculine, but mainly I heard people saying that this is very patchouli heavy and stuff. We'll get into that. The top notes are blueberry, cotton candy, raspberry, cassis, and bergamot. So this opening, like, you should be expecting fruity heaven. Cassis is the leaves and buds of black currants. That is also in C by Giorgio Armani. So all of these notes I felt like I would have been cool with. The middle notes are Bulgarian rose, orange blossom, jasmine, and then you have base notes of vanilla, patchouli, sandalwood, and white musk. So it just has a traditional base note profile. I've seen a very similar base note profile in virtually every fragrance, like just a little bit of patchouli, just a little bit of musk. That should just add the longevity. It's not really going to dominate the fragrance. But no, like, I wouldn't say it's patchouli heavy because honestly, maybe it is. I don't know. To me, this patchouli smells so different from typical patchouli. It almost smells incensey to me. I'm not familiar with incense perfumes, but I am familiar with the smell of incense. I don't know, it smells like some sort of spice. When I think of patchouli, I think of Angel Mused EDP, and that's not what this is. I know cologne is not just men's fragrance, but it smells like a man's cologne. And not in a bad way, but I'm just so confused by the notes. Like, I don't know. If you try hard enough, you can imagine maybe some blueberries. Like, you know how blueberries don't quite smell like anything? Cotton candy, sort of. Like, it's what's making this slightly sweet. And I'm not sure about the florals, you guys. Listen, I'm not an expert on perfume. All I know is that this is very masculine, and I do think I could pull it off, you know, but it's not the blueberry interesting, well, it is interesting for sure. It's not the blueberry mature perfume that I was looking for. It just smells like a nice unisex bottle. So I guess people are saying this is called a frutuli. This is really pretty and I so appreciate it, and it's unique, it's different. I don't have anything this masculine in my collection. I easily could like put this on my brother and I don't think he would be able to tell that it was a women's fragrance. I don't know if it's advertised as unisex, but this is completely unisex in my opinion. It's sexy. It honestly just makes me think of a man, which is unfortunate because I want to wear this. I don't care what anybody thinks, but it is just, it doesn't match my personality. So that's where the issue is. Again, I really like it, but it's because I like the smell of men's cologne. Anyway, I think this might be one that I wear to bed. I still need to do a full day of me wearing this on my skin. I did leave it on a tester strip one of these days and I smelt it throughout the day, and it did kind of change a little bit and, you know, soften a little bit, but at the end of the day, it is still a men fragrance to me. Even though it can be unisex, of course, whatever. Anything can be unisex. It just pulls very manly to me. Okay, lastly, we have Jean Paul Gaultier's Scandale by Night. So, you guys, when I first smelled this, I was like, oh my gosh, I just bought Scandal twice because I already have Scandal, and it just smelled way too similar to me, which I understand. This is the flanker. It should smell similar, but it smelled exactly like it. And then when I sprayed it, it smelled very cough syrupy, and I was like, dang, that was what I feared about the cherry note. Because I love cherry in fragrances, but it just needs to be done right. And even now with the initial spray, it's just kind of intense, but you guys, when this dries down, it's so stunning. So it opens with honey, bitter orange, and citrus. Pretty sure that's the same as Scandal, but the middle notes are tuberose, cherry, orange blossom, pear, Himalayan. Base notes of tonka bean, vanilla, patchouli, sandalwood, amberwood, white musk. So look, it has the vanilla, patchouli, sandalwood, and white musk, just like La Petite, Robe Noire, Intense, but this does not smell masculine whatsoever. So again, I'm still confused about that, but whatever. This is, wow. The cherry is so juicy and bright, and the honey is dripping all over the place, but this is not dried down, so I have to like remember. But you guys, I heard someone on Fragrantica say that it was similar to Poison Girl or something like that, and I didn't get it at first because the opening, not at all. Like, Poison Girl is its own thing, but when it dries down, this is a brighter, like way brighter. They're totally different fragrances in my opinion, but the dry downs maybe a little bit similar. So actually, Scandal does not open with honey. It has blood orange and mandarin orange as the top notes, middle notes of honey, peach, yeah. So, and it has base notes of beeswax and caramel. This is definitely a lot different, but still so similar. Poison Girl also has a citrusy opening. It opens with the same bitter orange and lemon. It has middle notes of damask rose, grass rose, orange blossom again. They both have base notes of tonka bean and vanilla and sandalwood. But definitely Poison Girl is more toned down and mature, I would say. Yeah, like Poison Girl is mature, still a little bit sexy, but Scandal by Night is more sexy. You know, Scandal has this reputation, the line of being promiscuous. Obviously, scandalous is the whole entire inspiration behind the line, the legs, everything. And I think it's so interesting that people compare this, like, you know, this is a stripper's perfume, which I didn't think it was that scandalous. I mean, I don't know what strippers are supposed to smell like. I mean, I think they smell like all types of scents. They don't discriminate, but I could see maybe why they get like the sexiness, the ooziness of honey, edibleness of this. It's like a mysterious fragrance, if you will. It's not to the point. It has layers, and when you go back more and more to smell it, it's just like you keep revealing more things, which makes it very intriguing as a fragrance and very sexy and alluring. So yeah, I really do like this one. I can't decide which one I like more, but I have the 1.7 ounce, and then the other one I have, I think, the full size, the Scandal. But I'm such a big fan of Scandal so far, and you guys know I just bought La Belle, and I was kind of, you know, talking pretty well about it in my last video, but I'm not really loving it, you guys. Like, First of all, it's just so much more simpler than Scandal, and I know less can be more, but I just love the complexity of this. Like, there's so many notes in here. It is more interesting to me, and it just smells better to me, in my opinion. Like, my brain agrees with it. But then with La Belle, I just can't. Okay, we're not even gonna get into it, you guys, but hopefully you enjoyed this video. I tried to be honest, so hopefully I didn't shade any of your favorite fragrances, but even if I did, don't worry. We all have different opinions, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Please subscribe and like the video if you liked. Bye!